Hi Sag, this is going to be your reading for November 2025. I hope everyone is having a good day so far. If this resonates with you, please like, subscribe, share, comment. If it doesn't, check your moon or rising because you could be in that energy as well. Just a reminder, these are general reads, so just take what resonates and leave the rest. How I do my readings, I'll start with the Angel Oracle Guide here. I'll move on to traditional tarot and then back to Oracle at the end. If I pause at any moment, it's just because I'm trying to feel the energy that I am feeling. So I appreciate the patience there. I just also want to say happy birthday to those Sagittarius that are born in November. I hope you have a great day, okay? So let's get into the reading. Your message. Angels and loved ones in heaven are sending you signs of their presence now. You may be seeing the same number pattern or sequences, finding feathers, or seeing the same birds at special times, or even feeling that you're being visited by loved ones or angels in dreams at some point in your day. These are all messages of support, and you are on the right path, and you're being guided to know that you do not walk this path alone. In times of need, angels are beside you, blessing your heart with love and healing. And your angels and loved ones in heaven will never leave you. Their love will never die. Angels love to send us signs because often we are not in a space where we can fully listen to their guidance. Most of the time because we are too busy or not willing to listen to the messages we hear on the inside, and the signs catch our attention. They remind us that our angels and loved ones in spirit are with us and willing to help us. If you have ever found yourself questioning certain events or signs, it's because somewhere within you, you don't feel fully adequate or worthy of love that is being shown to you. Know that you are worthy. When you receive a sign, there is an important step that you must take in order to usher in miracles into your life. Call in help. A sign is a message that help is available, so welcome it in with an open heart. Alright, let's pull some tarot here. Just give me a moment to pull some cards for Sag, please. Very interesting. Okay, let me just feel this energy. It feels, this energy around you, it's just really interesting because it seems very specific. But it's almost like this energy of, well, one, we're not nurturing ourselves well enough, but we're making an error judgment ourselves about failure, or about like feeling like failure, or feeling like we're not getting something, we're not successful at something or doing something kind of better here. And it's interesting because it feels like this energy of like uh, taking something harder than it should, because you're taking kind of a personal spin on it, where it's saying that you should kind of more take the spin of being like, oh, if it feels like work related almost, in this kind of reading, but it just kind of feels like this energy, where like it's testing ground to kind of prove that you are kind of strong enough to kind of move through this, but you're not giving yourself enough care here. It's like almost just like this idea of someone might be coming towards you being like, hey, you need to work on this a little bit more, and you're kind of taking it to offense instead of being like, oh, okay, let me like see what I can do, let me see, maybe I'll just hunker down a little bit more, or maybe I'll ask you for your advice on how to help you move forward with this, because it just seems like here in the sense it's like almost like wanting to give up because you're not feeling like you're making the mark. And I know that sounds so kind of really specific here with your reading, Sag, but it just feels that way. It feels, instead of being like, no, I need to care for myself, and maybe you are going through something kind of emotionally or physically right now, and like, maybe am not kind of hitting it. Maybe I'm not kind of being where I need to be right now, but I understand that, I process that, and I'm going to still push forward. Instead of this energy I'm kind of getting here, where it's like you're taking it and you're kind of being like, oh, I'm just going to naturally, I knew I wasn't going to be good at this, or I knew that this was going to be too hard for me. It's kind of not believing in yourself enough here is this energy that I'm feeling. My Queen of Cups is in the reverse here. When it's in the reverse, it means we're not nurturing ourselves the way that we should be nurturing ourselves, right? It's like a mother and a newborn baby, but it's funny because I'm seeing a toddler baby. I'm seeing like someone trying to learn to walk, right? The toddler learning to walk right now. In the Queen of Cups in the reverse is this energy of the baby falls down. It's like, how could you fall down? How do you not know how to do that? You're kind of stupid, right? That's and you're like, what mother would do that? So they're asking you to be the same for you, be the same person that nurturing mother would be. Be encouraging of yourself, be like, oh, don't worry, you'll get it next time. You like, I can do this, I can move forward, like, good job. Even trying is like an accomplishment here for you, Sag. So you have to kind of rework your thoughts and your emotions that way, because if you think of it in the other way, like, how could you have fall down, how could you not know how to walk, you're so stupid, those things will have such a negative effect on us. And I feel like your angels, you're like, if you are in this difficult situation right now, your angels, your loved ones want you to know, hey, call us in for help, call us in for support, we'll help you through this. Because at this 10 or 2 of swords here, it feels like you're at this crossroads moment. You see maybe 2 paths ahead of yourself here, and you don't know kind of which one to take, or you don't know where to go. So that might be a moment right now. You're like, what do I do? Do I stick with this? Do I not stick with this? It feels like, for you, it feels a lot to do with kind of career, but maybe it's something else here. Sad, but you're like, do I keep going down this path or do I not? With this 9 of Pentacles here, it's just telling you to believe in yourself, with your own worth. Make sure your self-worth is high, that you value yourself here, because this failure energy that's coming out with this kind of 6 of Wands, right, and this Judgment card in reverse, it's saying we're not seeing the situation properly. There's an error in our judgment, and this is in the failure of it. So this is like this energy of maybe feeling not good enough, or you're feeling like, again, you're feeling like, oh, I was always going to fail at this, maybe I'm not good at this, maybe it's not for me, and it's causing you to go in this kind of King of Wands energy in the reverse. It's where we're moving to kind of anger, we're not believing in ourselves, and we're kind of being stalled here. It's almost this energy of like you're losing your passion for it, you're losing your drive for it. So there's something to think about here in that. If you were finding yourself in a career where you're losing your passion, losing your drive for it, maybe you're starting to step back from different work because you're in this state, see if it's really because you are not interested in it anymore, or if it's your energy chalking, right? If you're the one that's kind of forcing yourself out of it, out of safety, because it feels like in a way you were kind of diminishing your own skills or diminishing your own talent or your own drive to do this, because there are kind of setbacks. So they are saying there's an error in judgment in that, and someone might bring it up to you, like even a boss, a coworker, someone you work for, maybe a friend, being like, hey, you just like stop putting in the work, or you stop doing this, what is going on here, do I have to pull you from this, do I, what is happening? And I feel like in a way it's causing you to like your energy just needs to be worked on, is all I'm going to say here. It just feels like financially it might hurt, because it feels like we're not doing the energetic work on ourselves. We're not coming out of a place where we're feeling whole, we're feeling like we can do this. And I think it's a lot about this nurturing, just caring for yourself and nurturing for yourself here. The Temperance card in reverse is just saying your energy is out of whack, it is not balanced right now. And I feel like that's what's causing a lot of this. It's causing you to kind of maybe stop working on something, or stop pursuing your passions, or stopping using your talents because you are just kind of drained. So how do we, in these situations, stay firm in ourselves, Sagittarius? How do we go, things have beaten me down a little bit recently, but how am I going to care for myself? How am I going to nurture myself? How am I going to be like, it's okay that maybe I'm not hitting my quota, maybe I'm not hitting my mark? What am I going to do about it? Instead of kind of reclusing, instead of retreating, instead of, spiraling, how am I going to step up to the plate and be like, okay, you know what? I'm still proud of the work that I've done, but what am I going to do here to kind of work on that or fix that? Or, you know, I have the strength to move past this here. So it just seems like, again, energy is a little out of whack right now. So whatever you can do to balance that, to care for yourself, to nurture for yourself at this time, that's going to be important, okay? Because with the Star card in reverse, it seems like you're losing hope on a situation. And I understand that, I get it, because we're in this state of failure, or feeling like a failure, or feeling like, you know, things aren't here to kind of work out for us here. We're going to feel like that. We're going to lose hope on this situation with the Star card. We're going to feel like our star is not shining as brightly as it should here. But I feel like they're just, you know, get back to the care, get back to the nurture, get back to the love for yourself. We do have the Ace of Cups coming out sideways here, which means choice is involved, right? And this is why I'm talking about kind of filling your own cup here. The Ace of Cups upright is, you know, this new sense of happiness, this new sense of emotional joy, of emotional well-being. Sometimes it's the spark of a new relationship. When it's in the reverse, it's this breakup energy. It's this energy of feeling like, you know, everything's been turned upside down, especially emotionally here for us. And the fact that it's coming out sideways, it means there's a choice involved for you here. It's like, how are we going to see it? Are we going to kind of feel like, you know, this is never going to happen for us, and so we're going to see it in reverse? Or are we going to trust that our cup will be full again? We're going to fill that cup for ourselves here, right? We're going to be emotionally invested in ourselves. We are going to be the cheerleader for ourselves. We're going to be that nurturing mother for ourselves in this month of November. We can do this. We can trust that, right? Because the Nine of Wands in reverse is just saying right now that you need to trust. You need to trust that you can do this, that you are good enough for this. You are good enough for a relationship. You are good enough for, you are strong enough to do this job. Like, it's such like a cheerleading month, I feel like, for you in November. That's popping out, and I feel like you're going to get to that place of the Ace of Pentacles, or sorry, the Ace of Cups, but we just feel defeated right now. We just feel like in this energy, because it's like we're trying to control something here that just wasn't good for us, that was kind of toxic for us. With this Devil card in reverse, it means we're releasing the chains here. We're releasing what is shackling us down, whether that be a toxic person, whether that be toxic traits in ourselves, whether that be toxic you know, feelings, whether it be substances, whatever it is here that is keeping you low vibrational here, which is holding you back and wants to keep you in this place where you're not shining. We are kind of trying to release that now, and we are feeling this defeated, and we are feeling this loss and this pain. But it's like, how do we move away from that? How do we get away from that here, so we're not stuck in this devil energy? You know, we're not stuck in this energy of that's trying to kind of keep us in this place of negativity, that's trying to keep us in this place where we're not thriving, right? And the Emperor in reverse is just saying we're trying to over control something, or feeling like over controlled right now. So maybe that's a situation in your life where you feel like someone else is over controlling energy, but I think it's, to be honest, Sag, I feel like it's you. I feel like you are trying to control everything, and sometimes you can't control it all. Sometimes you can't have total control over it. You know, if something's not working out, if someone's maybe not happy with a product or something that you are putting out, then you're just gonna be like, okay, you know, what can we do to collaborate, to work together to make you happier? Or what can we do here? What can I do here? You know, what can we change at the workplace so it more can harbor a better experience for everyone? Because it just feels like that is kind of being tested for you right now. Right now, you want to kind of recluse and move back and not work on things and hide away from it. But it's asking you to kind of more be present and to be more showing and show up in this, so you don't lose your light, so you don't feel like this kind of failure here. Yeah, it's just back to the drawing board energy that's popping up for you. Yeah, by the end of the month, it just feels like you're kind of ready to start over again. Whether that be in a, like, it feels like maybe a new job, or maybe for some of you, it's just like start over, being like, okay, I know I was like this for this month. The next month will be different. Because it just feels like you're like, okay, I got to go back to the drawing board. I got to change some kind of situation up for myself here. I have the Three of Wands here, and then Page of Pentacles. That's just telling me you're uprooting a little bit. You're planting new seeds. You're going back to the drawing board because you're like, whatever is happening right now isn't working for me, whether that be through my own energy, through my own self, or where maybe the workplace I'm at, the relationship I'm at, something isn't working and I need to get out of it. I need to change that here. But we have the Eight of Swords in the reverse, which is a great card to get. It means you're going to get out of your head a little bit here. Whatever has been going on, whatever mental blocks that you've been having, whatever situations you feel like, I'll never get out of this, nothing will ever change, those will be dissipating, and you're going to start to be grateful by the end of the month. You're going to be grateful for what you have here. So this whole month for you just seems like there's going to be this big energy change. You're going to not focus on the failure, not focus on the sadness so much anymore, but try and pull yourself out of that. Okay, Sag? Just going to pull some oracle cards for you here. Oh, you got two. So I will read them. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. I think balance is going to be important because we got Temperance, right, coming out here. So it just feels like this balance is kind of what you need in this month moving forward. So the two cards that you got for the Starseed Oracle deck were You Are Not For Everyone, and we will read that. Embrace your weirdness, face your true north. This world is filled with people who, no matter what you do, just won't like you. It's also filled with people who love you fiercely. Those are your people. You are not for everyone, and that is okay. Talk to people who can hear you. Do not waste your precious time, gifts trying to convince others of your value, that they don't ever want what you're selling. Don't try to convince them to walk alongside of you. You'll be wasting both your time and theirs, and will likely inflict unnecessary wounds that will take precious time to heal. You are not for them, they are not for you. Politely wave them on and continue on your way. Sharing your path with someone is a sacred gift, and don't cheapen it by rolling yours into the wrong direction. Keep facing your true north. Pulling this card means you're being called to embrace your uniqueness, to own your weirdness, and to let the world see who you really are. To reveal your multifaceted, multidimensional nature, and not to dim your light according to who is in your presence. To own all parts of yourself. I think they want me to go back to that. Not to dim your light according to who is in your presence. I think that's important, right? To own all parts of yourself so that your people, the ones that you are the same kind of weird as you, can recognize you when you cross paths. How can you embrace your weirdness and not care so much about what people think? You also got Breath of the Cosmos. My will, thy will, micromanaging the universe. This is what we were talking about with the Emperor card in reverse when we're talking about that control, trying to control everything. When we rely on our own will, we are micromanaging the universe and resisting the natural flow of life. We are not trusting the mysterious breath of life. We are rejecting the cosmic intelligence and relying instead on our own personal strength. When we do this, when we find ourselves attempting to bend things to our will, we spend our time forcing, pushing, living in a space of trying to, and everyone around us can feel it, and the universe can too. You're being called to stop micromanaging the universe and trust the breath of life, to surrender to the greater will that God has for you, and to move from my will to thy will. To surrender to the greater will of life, you will begin dancing with the rest of life. When you bow to the great mystery and say, please use me, please show me the way, little by little you find yourself living your most fulfilling, authentic life. When you surrender your personal will, when you relinquish your control and release the ways that you think things should be and surrender to the greater will, you will find yourself being led. You begin breathing the breath of life. I am willing to stop relying on my own strength and personal agenda and instead surrender to the breath of life. Dear God, help me move from my will to thy will. Please lead me and please show me the way. And this is exactly what we're talking about, is trying to control everything at the bottom here, but we just can't do that because sometimes life has different plans for us. So how can we kind of show up in that energy for ourselves, even when things aren't working out, even when maybe people are coming forward and be like, hey, you need to put more work into this. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm going to show up and I'm going to kind of do this. Maybe it's not in my control. Maybe things aren't going my way, but that's okay. I'm going to still, feel connected to myself, even through those times of uncertainty. All right, Sag, that was your monthly reading. I hope it helped.